Look behind me. The glorious bluebells are out. You know it's May, and they come out like this blanket across the woods. What do you know about the bluebells? There's a lot more to the bluebell than you think. Let's take a look, shall we? There are two species of bluebell in this country, the native British bluebell and the Spanish bluebell. Our native bluebell has been here since the last ice age. The Spanish was introduced in Victorian times as a garden plant, but it spread into the English forests. These are British bluebells. You can tell because they have a droopy stem towards the top due to the flowers being on just one side of the stem. They are also scented, and the Spanish are not scented. And the colour is different. The British bluebell is dark violet blue and has a more narrow tubular bell flower. This is the Spanish bluebell, which is a much paler blue. It's more upright stem, and the flowers are more conical bells with larger leaves and flowers. Bumblebees are known to take the nectar and not pollinate the flower. They do this by making a small hole in the base of the flower. Bumblebees, bees, insects and butterflies love the bluebells. This is the white version of the Spanish bluebell, very common in this country, in our gardens and in the woodlands. Wild white English bluebells are incredibly rare. They occur when the flower's blue pigment is missing, making them albino bluebells. It is believed a native white bluebell occurs only once in every 10,000 flowers. During Elizabethan times, the bulbs were crushed and made the starch that made those lovely ruffles that you see in the pictures stiff and keep their shape. The bluebell is known by several names, like the woodbell, the wild hyacinth, cuckoo's boot, witch's thimble, dead man's bell, lady's nightcap, and the fairy flower. In Scotland, bluebells are called harebells because it's believed that witches turn into hares and are found hiding among the flowers. It's unlucky to trample on a bed of bluebells or pick one, as this would anger the fairy folk, and even more so if you took them home. Bluebells are associated with lots of folklore, the fairy folk, the bluebell fairies. So many stories. Beatrice Potter has a little mention of bluebells as well. The Fairy Caravan, Little Tuppenny, the guinea pig, and his chums. They're in the small woods, but it takes them 4 hours because they keep going round and round in circles, while unseen hands pelt the travellers with little oak apples. The fairies are amongst the bluebells. Bluebells are toxic to most animals, including our dogs, but badgers love them. They've been known to eat the bulbs. Bluebell woods are said to be enchanted, and the fairies use them to lure people away. It is said that when a bluebell rings, it summons all the fairies to a gathering. However, if a human happens to hear the ringing tone, that person will be visited by a malicious fairy and die shortly after. If you manage to turn a bluebell flower inside out without tearing, you will surely win the one you truly love. Bluebells represent everlasting love, gratitude, humility, and also they are so calming and soothing. Who doesn't love to walk among the beautiful bluebells? Over half the world's population of these iconic wildflowers grow in the UK. Bluebells have been protected since 1981.
Ants help to spread bluebell seeds. It takes several years for the native bluebell seed to grow into a bulb and subsequently flower. Throughout the ages, bluebells have been used for so many things. Bookbinding was one of them. Using the sticky sap would be also really good for stopping the insects attacking the binding.
Once upon a time, herbalists used to use bluebells to stop nightmares. But some people still today have said that bluebells will stop nightmares.
Many artists have painted bluebell fairies. Which is your favourite?
During the Bronze Age, the sticky sap was used to stick the feathers onto arrows.
There are many stories and folklore about the fairy folk. They are either very good or very bad. If a child picks the bluebell, the fairy folk will be mad and she will never be seen again.
13th century monks would use the remedy of bluebells for leprosy and snake bites.
The song of the harebell fairy. O bells, O stems so thin and fine, no human ear your sound can hear, O lightly chiming bells of mine. When dim and dewy twilight falls, then comes the time when the harebells chime for fairy feasts and fairy balls. They tinkle while the fairies play, with dance and song the whole night long, till daybreak wakens cold and grey, and elfin music fades away. The bluebell's Latin name, Hyacinthoides non-scripta, comes from a Greek myth. When the prince Hyacinthus died, the tears of the god Apollo spelt the word alas on the petals of the hyacinth flower that sprung up from his blood.
I hope you've enjoyed this super episode about the bluebells. Get into the woods before they're gone. They're spectacular.